manhandling there over on the far side from Sakari. Looks like it's starting in his favoured right back role. Sylvester Uwino, the number 2, I think has been switched over to his least favoured left back position. One of those two had to bite the bullet and take one for the team. Both usually play as right backs. Looks like Uwino, he might be starting in the centre back position. Just looking at the way they were lining up there, the Kenyan back line. The Ivorians looking a little bit nervous at the moment. Quite understandable, huge gap for the Elephants. Now charging forwards. Good tackle coming in from Onyango, and come forwards, Ogden plays the ball off. Here is Uwino. Across to Moro, though, dispossessed. And now the Ivorians can come forwards. Here's Pepe driving into the area. The pass into Gesson just behind him. The shot comes in. I think it's going to deflect over the line. No, it isn't cleared off the line by the defender. The ball's still alive for the Ivorians, and then the chip shot flies harmlessly wide. First opportunity there for the Elephants. Pepe, who drove into the area, the pass across just behind Gesson. Diallo getting the shot, big deflection. Eventually scrambled off the line. Sylvester Uwino eventually getting the telling touch there for the Harambee Stars. Big question here today will be, can Kenya finally be the first team to actually score against Cote d'Ivoire in this group? 9 games, 9 clean sheets so far for the Elephants. Hasn't always been pretty, but it's been very effective. Diaman drops deep, keeps the ball well, plays it off, and then makes his run into the opposition half. Diallo, one-on-one, cuts inside. Diallo plays the ball across goal. Lovely first touch there, and there's the opener. And it's the captain, Frank Kessié. Well, Amad Diallo making the run down the right, cutting inside, finding just the right pass there as Kessié arrived at pace for a midfield, timing his run to perfection. Cutting, you can just see the run from Kessié, and that first touch just takes him past the entire defensive line. And the second touch slams it into the back of the net. That's the perfect start here for Cote d'Ivoire. A second goal in qualification. In fact, a second goal in as many games for Frank Kessié, having come off the bench to score late against the Seychelles 4 days ago. Now then, what will be very important here for Benny McCarthy's side is how they react to that opening goal. Feels like Cote d'Ivoire have mounted 2 real attacks and they've cut through them like a hot knife through butter on both occasions. The outside of the top 2 teams in this group by next best defensive record, 11 goals conceded in their 9 matches. And you can make that 12. By the way, we will be keeping an eye on the scores in Franceville as Gabon host Burundi, hoping to keep the Ivorians honest with a win there on home soil. The Ivorians coming forwards again here, the cutback. Finds Diallo, his first touch a little bit heavy. Now Gesson on the turn, smothered out of it. Poor touch there from Malunga. Gives the ball back to Côte d'Ivoire. Pace down that left-hand side. Diamond has the ball taken off his toes, goes out for an Ivorian throw. Nicely laid off. Opportunity here. Oh, lovely first touch and a brilliant save there from Odiambo. Calls for a penalty, ignored by the referee. And the players, actually, to be honest. But that's a poor ball out. Frank Kessié with the opening goal. Côte d'Ivoire threatening to cut loose here in the early stages in Abidjan. More direct running, this time from Konan. Konan plays the 1-2. Just a slightly heavy touch there from Diamond. Sees the ball go out for a goal kick. Well, the fans enjoying this start here from the Elephants. Threatening to stampede in the early stages here against Kenya. Here's the back on, but we know that. Referee not liking that. 12 minutes in. Kenya right under the cosh already. Oh, given away by Odiambo, and all of a sudden defending to be done here again. And Gesson couldn't quite take the ball with him. Pass perhaps just slightly behind the number 11. Nice turn from Ogham, but faced with too many orange shirts. There's the Group F table as it stands, Gabon. 0-0 in the early stages in Franceville and home to Burundi. That means it's a 3-point gap now at the top for Côte d'Ivoire. No real stress for Gabon, though. They are, even before taking to the pitch, guaranteed a place as one of the 4 best runners-up in the group phase here. That will take them through to the playoffs, and they hope, ultimately, to the intercontinental playoffs as well. Nice play down the left-hand side, trying to cut back in, but Sakari alert to the danger. Home fans not liking that. Foul coming in from Sangare. MS Faye, Côte d'Ivoire coach, came into the job under the most extraordinary pressure and really thrived from it. Can he be the one to finally unlock the Elephants' potential on the global stage, not just the continental one? They've gone to the World Cup in three occasions in the past. Haven't quite lived up to expectations. Is this the group that will finally break through? Diallo. Eventually dips his shoulder, gets in behind one. As well to bounce off the other defender and keep possession, but eventually harassed out of play there by Owino. McCarthy there in discussion with the coaching team on the bench. Post defending from Ndika. Now Conan. Better safe than sorry at the back at the moment. The Côte d'Ivoire, no need to take any unnecessary risks. Gaila Doué going to ground there. Space to bring the ball up over halfway. Diamond drops deep. Now drops a shoulder, goes past one. Oh, jinks past another as well. Diamond. Oh, skips past a fourth player now as well. Cuts inside. Eventually the ball goes out for a corner. Lovely change of pace there from Jan Diamond. Rassel Sport Leipzig wide player. Twinkling his toes. Giving past 1, 2, 3, 4 players. The end result just a corner, but lovely bit of play there from the 18-year-old. No wonder he's been drafted into the starting lineup for such a big game. Playing with no fear down that left-hand side. And in fact, the foul given when he tried to turn back inside. Diamond causing all sorts of chaos down that left flank in the early stages here in Abidjan. And the 5 orange shirts to aim at in the area, 2 more on the edge of the D as well. There's Pepe. Going to take this as an extra man. Wanders into the area as well. Pepe curls it in, the header just wide of the upright. Evan Ndika stealing in there. Roma centre-back. Just wide of the upright. Was under pressure as well from Alphonse Omecha. Keeper probably had that one covered. Still goalless in Franceville between Gabon and Burundi. But no Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang there for the Panthers. Scored 4 against Gambia 4 days ago, but picked up a second yellow card of the game in the closing stages. Picking up a 1-game ban. Swept out to the right. Kenya yet really to mount an attack of any real note. So far they've just been struggling to get out of their own third of the pitch, really. The Elephants utterly dominant, at least at the moment. That's a poor touch. Ghislaine Kernan. Next in Portugal with Hila Vicente. The regular there in the top half of the Primeira Liga. Flipped out to this near side, but again, too much on it. No chance. Mansour Aguero latch on to the end of it. Referee wanting to take us up to the other end of the pitch here, where Bernard Odhiambo has gone down. See any real incidents there around his penalty area. Kenyan players taking the opportunity to get a quick recap of the tactics, I think, during this stoppage of play. Of course, it wouldn't be Abidjan without the singing and dancing. Interesting that Eddie McCarthy isn't speaking to the players himself there, leaving it to the coaching staff. A few lonely pockets of Harambee Stars fans there dotted around the stands. Still no real idea what was going on there with Bernard Odhiambo. He's in there for the injured Brian Maguire. Kwani City goalkeeper went off injured in the 6th minute against Burundi 4 days ago. Back underway. Greg Kessier with the opening goal after just 7 minutes of beautifully timed run. A silky first touch taking him straight through the defensive line. Slamming it into the roof of the net. What sort of ambition will the Elephants show? Try and go out there and get a second. It's worth noting that in their 4 home games so far, yes, they scored 9 against the Seychelles. The other 3 games against Burundi, Gambia and Gabon, the games all finished 1-0. Will they manage to cut loose here today, I wonder? Certainly be better for the nerves if they can find a second goal. Clipped forward. Wilson slides in, misses the tackle. Now Gesson. Got Diallo on the right outside in the flag stays down. Diallo though couldn't find the cross. That will it be a corner? No, it won't. I just wonder if there was a late flag up there against Diallo. He looked off. What to say when this pass there went through.